Hey everyone, welcome back to another One More Podcast. I have a friendly face who has been missing for a while. Gosh, Blake, where have you been?
At home.
Okay, awesome. We are going to go ahead and look on the Reddits, and we have the unpopular opinions, and we're going to talk about it and give our 50 cents on the unpopular opinions of the internet. So, the first one...
How bad could they be?
Yeah, right. First one. Movies are better with subtitles. You know what you're all thinking. Oh my god, he likes subtitles. He probably supports dogfighting too. Yes, I like subtitles. They're minimally intrusive and allow for better understanding of the dialogue. If I miss something a character says, I have to rewind and listen again, potentially twice. If I think I heard them correctly, but I'm not sure, I have to listen again. With subtitles, you never have to worry about the struggle. Are you a subtitles man?
I am if it's like a really British movie or if it's a foreign film.
But generally, like, if you were to watch The Lord of the Rings, would you do subtitles?
No.
Okay.
That's a bad example because we've seen them many times.
Okay,
can quote them. But like, so when I think of a movie that's in English but I need subtitles for, I think of the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr.
Sure.
Because his accent is so thick and they talk so fast that I do miss completely.
Okay.
What the hell did they just say?
What about like regular TV shows?
No.
Really?
No.
Really? Does it just like ruin it for you, or you just
don't
don't want to? You don't want to read?
I don't need them.
Okay.
I can hear and understand the jokes just fine or anything like that.
It's because you're American.
I guess
you've got
so.
the American accent.
Yeah. If I listen to the British Office, I might need subtitles, because we speak American here. We don't speak
indeed.
that haughty-toddy English.
Well, I like subtitles with everything. I feel like, because with me watching stuff at this point in my life, when I was younger, it's like, ooh, let's watch a movie, and you get all huddled around the TV, and you're like, this is going to be the center focus of the night, or let's watch this TV show, and we're going to binge it, and it'll be fun, and now it's like, for me, whenever I'm watching movies or TV, I'll like have my phone out, or I'll be playing the Switch or something, and I'll just be doing other stuff, and then...
So when you look up, you want to know kind of what's going on.
Yeah, like I can, like literally I can just like do a quick read of it, and...
You get to grasp what's going on.
And because most of it, especially if it's like a regular sitcom or just kind of like just a general comedy show, you're not going to have a lot of just random jump plot scares or whatever that you will be able to tell, because you can tell whenever something happens by reading the subtitles. Like it'll have a little dash or something. You're like, oh, what's gonna happen? With that one, it's like I can just quickly glance up, he's about to say this thing, whatever, and then I can kind of listen to it as well. So
it's when the TV is the center of attention, when you're watching,
I will still have subtitles. Yeah, okay. I don't know, it's just because I definitely have kind of a auditory problem sometimes, because I think with some TV shows, either the music is really loud, and that's like, it's like dun 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 dun, or there's just a lot of like background noise, like if it's in a city and you have the honking and the people chattering and the whatever ambient noises and stuff like that. So I really haven't had like a whole lot of problems with it, but definitely sometimes I'll like, wait, what did you say? Hearts or farts? Is this important?
Doesn't context kind of help you out there though?
Over my head. I just totally like, I'll go, I treat it scene to scene, line to line, and I just don't, my brain isn't, I guess, able to connect that we're talking about heart surgery, so he would say heart, not fart, so... doesn't
so in your brain
work.
It's just fart.
That's weird.
Fart surgery.
That's a very interesting thing to bring up during this conversation.
Didn't even think about that.
Anything else on the subtitles? You got any other hot takes on it?
Hot takes? No.
Okay.
If you,
I mean, I don't know. I've met some people. Have you met anyone that gets like overly? Because I've met people that overly like, how dare you put something? I don't want to read when I'm watching a movie. No. Like I do literally had that conversation. I will say this though
about the subtitles. Whenever we were watching the Jack Reacher show. I did enjoy.
With John Krasinski,
Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
Okay,
I did like having the subtitles on there.
Well, because it's like, yeah, I agree. That was.
I also liked reading. I'm just an analyst at the bottom of the screen.
Always
10 times.
Yep, every 5 minutes. I'm just an analyst. You're going to Afghanistan. I'm just an analyst.
You may be an analyst. We're the only damn chance we got.
Okay. You're an ass if you have LED headlights on your car.
Yep.
You don't even have to read the description.
You're an ass.
It feels like every night when I'm driving home, I have some idiot in a lifted up truck behind me with his headlights containing the power of 10 suns blasting into my car. These cars are everywhere, and every time I pass one or two behind me, it feels like I lost my vision for the road for at least a few seconds. I mean, this is kind of just continuing on. I agree, but I think the color can help because don't they sell LEDs that are like bright white or like blue?
Yeah.
And I always forget which one is the. I think it isn't the bright white, just is the super blinding one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I know one of them is actually supposed to be more helpful because what headlights are naturally yellow, right? Ish.
Yeah.
Mine has like I have a very old car, and I guess
and that's why. So like at some point in the 2000s, car manufacturers switched to LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's this feature on new cars because my boss just bought a 2019 truck or 2018 Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
There's a feature on it where it knows when to keep brights on and when to keep them off.
Really?
Like it'll detect like a car, it'll detect headlights and then it'll flip the brights off.
Oh, okay.
And then when the no cars are detected, the car will automatically flip the high beams on so that you can see better. And that is becoming mandatory in cars. I bet that will become mandatory in cars.
No, I mean that makes sense. I guess I just haven't had a new car because I'm just always used to having to turn off my headlights or the headlights are just going to stay on for a while. Because I always, it's like people with these new Honda Accords and stuff like that and whatever other cars, they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to have the headlights on and then we leave. Yeah, and I'm like, wait, or shouldn't you turn that off? No, it'll do it. Yeah, like that's not me. So.
No, I think if you're, it's annoying, but it's safety.
That's fair.
So you can't account for like your own personal preference when you're manufacturing thousands of cars.
No, that's very true.
You know, so if somebody has a problem with the high beam lights and they're blinded for a second, and it's like Ford's gonna say, "Kiss my ass." Like,
yeah, right.
That's what we're putting in our cars.
Exactly.
Get over it.
That's fair.
But yeah, you're an ass.
Getting licked in the face by dogs is gross. People usually treat it as a sign of affection when they're happy about it, but I don't see why. If a dog licked my face, I'd probably freak out. I wouldn't want its saliva all over my face. I don't know where that tongue has been. I don't care. Dogs can lick my face all the time.
Dogs actually have bacteria in their mouth that makes their mouths more cleaner than humans.
Okay, wait, hold on. Is that real? Because I've always I feel like every section of my life, I'm like, okay, the dogs are cleaner. Wait, no, it's not. That's been disproved. Now they are cleaner. Is that really true?
Let's put this to the test right now.
All right, go for it. I think getting licked by animals is fine, as long as you're not like some rodent that comes up to me in the middle of the street and starts licking my leg or whatever. I'm good, but yeah, I don't know. That's my actually. There was a individual in my life that I knew that. There was an animal and that they would let the dog lick inside their mouth.
Oh,
so yeah, it was ridiculous. It was I don't know if they still do it or not.
I'm out. So this is from the.
Well, you wouldn't let your dogs lick inside your mouth?
No, and here's what I do with my dogs. They know that they can lick my chin.
Okay,
and that's fine.
Okay,
but like if they start licking like my cheek or somewhere around my mouth, that's when I kind of
crosses the line.
Get off. But I'm fine coming home and they get to lick my chin because. I was watching some video about dogs. The reason they lick your chins is not to like give you kisses. It's to know where you've been and to smell you and to like whenever they lick your chin, they like know where you've been and like what you've been doing. Yeah, that's kind of why they do it.
Okay, that's fair.
So the American Kennel Club says comparing a dog's mouth to a human's mouth is like comparing apples to oranges.
Okay.
This is because both dog and human mouths are full of microbes. While there is some overlap in the types of bacteria between species, there are also a host of different dental bacteria in your dog's mouth that you won't find in yours.
Okay.
So, in fact, dogs have more than 600 different types of bacteria in their mouths, which is similar to the number of 615 that have been found in human mouths.
So it's really just kind of a difference. They're germs. They're different germs.
We can't get dog germs. And they can't get get the
we
flu.
can't get sick from it. No. Right.
So
okay. So maybe that's why people think it's like
even though they are still eating loads of crap in the backyard. As I keep with the chin rule, I'm fine with the chin rule. I know what my dogs do. I'm not cool with them licking the inside of my mouth.
I've only I think Peanut, my previous dog, she only when she got older would she kind of sniff poop or something like that. But when I was younger, I don't think I've seen any dogs ever eat poop. So I'd never really it didn't cross my mind, so I didn't care.
It's the coolest feature on a dog ever. You have to pick it up, dude.
I mean, that's fine. There was actually I was walking when I was a kid. I was walking in the neighborhood, and I was one of those obnoxious, like, oh, I want to walk my dog. It's going to be fun. Right. And so Peanut did her business, and I was like, oh, I don't have a bag because I'm like, 11 or 12 or whatever. So I was gonna walk off, and actually some woman like came out of her house. Are you gonna pick that up? And I was like, yeah.
I went home to get a bag.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Do you have one?
And so that was fun.
Way to go, you all.
Thank you. If a rapper cured your depression, you weren't really depressed. Any type of artist applies, but if music cured your depression, you weren't legitimately depressed. I wish my thousands of dollars of counseling, meds, hospitalization, scars could have been swapped out for a few songs.
I think that person is maybe a little too hypersensitive to that issue.
Really?
But like everyone's been in a funk and they hear that one song and it just shoots endorphins into their brain and their heart. They just feel so great after listening to that song. But yeah, obviously depression is a real disease, a real thing. But I don't think that this person understands the difference between clinical depression and shit, man, girlfriend just dumped me. Let's that's fair. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to whatever. And I feel a little better. I feel better now. I feel good. That song made me, No,
that's totally fair.
There's a difference between,
my go-to whenever I was younger, and I was like super into the Beatles, and then kind of like evolved through that. Whenever I would like get super irritated or super annoyed or anything like that, I would go in my room, close my door, put my head on my pillow, and blast Wings, and just listen through the greatest hits and stuff like that. And I don't know, man, it was just like it was a nice up kind of rock beat, and like Paul McCartney is just so his voice is angelic and like I get that
now.
Honestly, it's more of just kind of like random old stuff, like the what is the Cordettes or whatever, like the Mr. Sandman. Those will just randomly, I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling great, and just the ba 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 or whatever. And then I mean, it could be really anyone. I'll go to like iTunes and do the 50s radio or 60s radio mix and stuff, and then usually I'll just
old school 50s and 60s.
Whatever it is. So, but I mean, it's not even anyone in particular. It's just like, okay,
the campiness of the 50s. And
60s. kind of gets me sort of over that. But like, I guess if I'm like seriously like, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I guess Logic is cool. So
well, like I feel like there's two different kinds of depression. Like when you listen to music or whatever, it's like there's the let me wallow in it kind of songs. You know, that's like I'm gonna stay in this sadness for a bit, and I need my music to almost tell me that it's okay to feel this way. Yeah. And then you have the music that's just hard hitting. No, get yourself out of this kind of music. Like So
what are your go-tos?
That's embarrassing.
Oh, come on. Guilty pleasures, bring it up. Come on.
Well,
if I can listen to the Cordettes, I think you can listen to whatever else.
I think it used like now I just listen every song by a certain band that I'm listening to constantly just makes me feel all of those emotions, at one time. Or
it's somehow like it's dated
music,
and
somehow the music matches my feelings no matter what I'm feeling. The same song I could find something out of a different song that just like, okay, I get it. I get it. So I'm still obsessed with Alice in Chains and the Raconteurs and Tom Petty.
I don't think Alice in Chains should be something that because
that's not what I'm embarrassed about. My first song that came to mind was what I would listen to like senior year if a girl broke my heart, and I think it was "Gives You Hell" by the All American Rejects.
Oh, okay,
I loved that song.
All American Rejects are great.
I loved them All American. Rejects.
I think actually those were one of the first bands that actually bought their songs for Rock Band.
Oh, they did? Cool.
Yeah, and I think it was either Dirty Little Secrets or something. There was one of the songs that was, and I was just like, oh, I can kind of sing this, and I can play guitar on hard mode, so like, let's do
it.
Yeah.
And country music, and if you're ever sad, get yourself some country music.
Get some Willie Nelson in your life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Him too.
Willie Nelson's outlaw country. Isn't
I agree.
Okay, all right. Yeah. All right. If the marriage is called off, give the man the ring back.
Yep.
Those guys these guys out here, and in some case women, asking women to marry them, spend 3 months worth... Okay. Is it really you have to spend 3... I thought it's like a month or...
I thought it was a month. Is it 3 months salary?
This guy's saying 3 months worth of income.
Well, then I guess it's that.
Which, honestly, I think there was whatever, Adam Rooms Everything. Do you remember? I've showed you a couple of those. He was talking about how like the whole diamond industry has been
deflated.
Yeah, and like there's because if you go to Africa, there's like a crap ton of diamond mines and stuff, and it's been purposefully like suppressed. Off. Yeah, and then I mean even I think the whatever K I think is the one of the brands that does a bunch of I think they coined the phrase 3 months income for people to spend more money on the diamonds. I'd have to do some more research on it. So, yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. But so then, what would you feel if if the woman kept the ring? Like if she had like a sentimental.
I think so. It depends on. I think it depends on why the marriage was called off. Because I've seen I remember watching Judge Judy with my grandma back, when I was a kid, and there was an episode where the guy was suing the ex-fiance for the ring back because she cheated on him, and Judge Judy would say, "Let me see the ring," and she would take it, and then she would just give it right back to the guy.
Oh really?
And say case closed or whatever.
Oh wow. Okay,
because at that point whoever owns it, it's in that person's hands. Like there's no deed to the car, there's no deed to the house or title to a car. It's at that point a gift, and as long as it gets back, whoever holds it is the owner of that item. So I think it depends on why. So if the guy was an asshole, then you go. Actually, even then, really? I think you should be an adult about it.
So as long as there's
it didn't work out here,
non-abuse. As long as it was a non-abuse situation, you think the woman is pretty expected to give it back, or it would be appreciated if it was given back.
Just be a professional. Just be an adult.
That's fair.
It's not you gave this. We tried it didn't work. Here.
That's fair. I think armpit hair on women is sexy. I used to dislike armpit hair on both men and women until one day I challenged myself to grow my own out, just to see what it would be like. After all, I had never let it grow out before, as I was taught not to. All right, I've never shaved my armpit hair. Like it's still like the same hair that I've had since I was like 10 years old. It's grown and it's a little more disgusting, but I've shaved everywhere else, but like the whole face thing and everything, I've gone through cycles, but the armpit hair, I don't get why people shave that. Have you ever shaved your armpit hair?
I think once for a swim meet when I was in middle school.
That's fair.
And I heard the rule for guys is if you close your arms and you can see it coming out on either side, that's when it's time to trim.
Oh, okay.
But if you can't, then you're fine.
I'm gonna have to take a quick look in the mirror after this to see if I'm a freak.
I don't know. I've never known a girl that thinks that every single girl that I've ever known shaves their armpits, and I'm out.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's what I've grown up.
No, it's
girls,
fair.
It's
a preference.
It'd be like me just transporting back to the 70s and being cool with that stuff. It's like,
I don't know. I think that's okay. I think it's empowering, and
oh my god,
it's a control thing. I think it's
I think it is.
It's my body, and sure, the expectation is for me to shave or whatever.
It's not an expectation for me. It's just what
So if Brittany was like, Blake, I'm gonna grow everything out because I took a women's studies course online, and now I have a certified a social justice warrior degree. I'm gonna grow everything out. Would you secretly put a de-hairing solution in her food so that she could never grow hair?
No, I would lead by example.
There you go. That's true. No, okay. Honestly, I think that is a very fair point. A little gross point with the downtown region. I don't think it's fair if you don't shave. You can't expect your people to shave. I think that is a totally fair argument. I've had that discussion in previous relationships before, and I think that's totally makes sense. So, but if you put up the effort and you maintain, then I think you can ask. I don't think you can demand, but whatever.
Ladies, do what you want.
Kids who do poorly in school and don't care at all should be allowed to fail. Note, I'm talking about high schoolers. Kids in elementary school and middle school should still be required to go to school since they're innocent and they don't understand what skipping school would do to them in the long run. These kids are a waste for school, high schoolers. They take up classroom spaces even though they don't care and will never use the education. They'll go through hundreds of dollars of textbooks in high school and never remember the information. They're often distracting to the learning environment and hurt blah 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 blah. Society needs to learn to cut the safety net requiring education for these types of high schoolers.
I think what makes the United States interesting is how much we care about each other. And I think it's a very American ideal to look after each other and not to have somebody else come in and take care of us. And so because of that, in order to make a better society, I think it's appropriate to expect and try to help each other as much as we can. So if you have a troubled kid, and let's also just take into account that school is not for everyone. It's not. Some kids are just not cut out for school. Some kids are better in a trade atmosphere or better working with their hands.
I think you can. I'm sorry to interrupt. I think you can narrow that instead of cut out for school. I think it really is like test taking. Sure. I think that's where it is. Because I think if in any environment where you're in class or you're having a discussion, I've seen like even dumb kids, whatever. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I've seen like the not as interested kids still provide something to a discussion. Because like in my senior year in high school, I took on level English, but I've always like taken AP, everything, math, science and stuff. And I've had like interesting discussions with people who I know they don't do homework for like half of their classes. Like I know they're gonna skip out on whatever fourth period because X, Y, and Z. So like I think. In an environment where you're not expected to be forced to take this test or whatever, I think kids are more likely to want to learn and stuff. But it's the test taking. I'm sorry. Continue what you were saying.
Do you ever watch Daniel Tosh's stand up?
I maybe clips.
He had this one joke where he said this one, like he did a high school commencement speech and just belittled the whole thing and like said the real speech, like there's felons here, there's no doctors or lawyers, like you guys, your kids are fucked kind of thing. Yeah. And then at one point he said, oh, you say that you're just a really bad test taker? You mean you're stupid? Like, let's be honest. You mean you struggle with the part where we find out what you know? Yeah, sorry, dude. Hit the bricks. Oh, yeah, I'm a genius painter, except at noon, I develop Parkinson's, and I just can't do it. But, no, I think there's a quote that it's like measuring intelligence is like seeing who can climb up a tree faster, a monkey, a dolphin, or an elephant or something. And I think my sister would agree, 'cause she teaches 5th grade, that the way we measure intelligence is not really fair. True. Because there's so many different factors that go into what makes a kid smart at certain things. Obviously you've got your top 10%, they're going to be fine, but the rest of the 90%, that we have to find our niche at some point that makes us a betterment to society. And having said that, I think there's something important about a lesson learned in that you still have to start what you finish. So even if a shithead kid can't get it together, you gotta stick it out, dude. You're gonna learn at least something. You're going to learn something.
I think I agree that there should at least be just be open about it. And I don't know how we would change the mentality of kids, because you're always going to have kids that I hate school sucks. Right.
And that's what I'm saying. School is not for every kid. I think there should be a bigger push for trade programs or out of school programs that
would be cool.
That would help kids. So, you don't like school, but you've got a proclivity for math. Have you ever thought about construction? Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about that? Well, let's take a look. Let's just take a look.
That's fair. There, whenever you're mentioning the measuring intelligence versus each creature, there is, I think the saying is like, if you tell a fish to climb a tree, it's gonna think it's stupid, its whole life, or something like that. It's something along those lines where it's obviously you're cut out for something else, but what is that? I don't think the public school system would be able to do it. But I don't know. I do agree. I think the safety net, at least going with the whatever, the no kid shall fail, or what is
no
the George Bush?
Fail.
Yeah.
It's no child left behind.
Yeah, that I don't know about that. We'll have to take a further look into that.
Well, I think it also that kind of mentality fosters, and I was talking to my little brother about this today. It fosters an atmosphere of cheating.
Okay,
as opposed that's true. Because I asked my brother, "Hey, how are you able to cheat or whatever?" And he laid it all out there. And every kid is doing it. I did it. I don't know if you did it. Yep. We all, especially in college, like
with college, I tried. the cheating in regards to the tests and stuff like that, obviously no.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to do that.
Well, that's true. But yes, with the assignments and the teamwork, I love teamwork. Group work is great.
I got paid to write papers. I made a comfortable living writing papers for kids in college. Like it's a reality. And there's like this underground system where you can pay someone, if it's an online class, to take that class for you.
There was a recent, or not, I say recently, but like probably within the past 6 months, there was a whole big scandal about, there was a you know, like Quizlet and all the other online helping tools and stuff. Oh yeah, everybody knows Quizlet. But there was a new one, and I forget what it was, like Owl something or something with the pic. It was a picture of a bird was the icon, and essentially it was a place where if you pay a monthly subscription or you pay whatever one-time fee. Quiz. Well, not even, but essays, like full blown, like just papers. Damn. And like these people would write essays for you, and it would like auto generate stuff, and so and the thing is, a bunch of YouTubers were advertising for it. It's like, hey, we're sponsored by this. Hey, you having trouble in school, kids? Check out this thing, and you can have a free essay for you, and you don't have to do your work or whatever. So, and I know a lot of people are getting busted for that.
I think it's dangerous because we have a society that tells you to go to college, and then we have a system that is so competitive that it brings kids out of their moral compass and but it fosters a cheating atmosphere when they're not really learning, and when they get out, they have this degree and they spent the last 4 years cheating, and so now there's a skills gap because the jobs that are out there, these kids that are coming out aren't ready to fulfill those jobs.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's, we're kind of effing around.
I can and I don't know if it was the same for you, but like through high school and college, anything where like the grades weren't super important and it was kind of like a pass. Yeah, exactly. You learn the most when there's not this pressure of, oh God, I have this thing due and I have to meet this guideline. It really teaches you to like kind of conform and fit into a box and say, okay, if I meet this,
it's teaching you how to memorize, not how to learn.
Exactly. Root beer is disgusting. I don't know why people drink root beer. It's super sugary, no flavor, and has a bad aftertaste.
I wouldn't say it's no flavor, but I agree. I don't like root beer either.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of root beer. Grew up drinking Dr. Pepper, dude.
Okay, that's fair. Dr. Pepper and Coke is good. I don't know. Have you had like root beer floats?
Those are good. I've had a alcoholic root beer. That wasn't that bad. But even the root beer float, just give me the ice cream. I don't even need the root beer.
I mean, that's fair.
I'd rather do a Dr. Pepper float.
Well, so were you limited? Did you ever do like white sodas, clear sodas, or what, like Sprites?
Like Sprite?
Okay.
I've had them all.
Oh, you had them all?
And I'm just not.
So, but is Dr. Pepper your?
Dr. Pepper is the pinnacle.
Okay,
it's
really?
The top. Yeah, top of the food chain.
Okay, is that a family? Is the Dr. Pepper family?
No, I think it's just Texas.
I know.
Grew up in Texas, and that's what you drink.
But it's also PepsiCo is located in like Plano or something like that. So
yeah, but I'm not. I don't know anybody in my family that drinks Pepsi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's either Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper, or Dr. Pepper. And then we have our teas and whatever.
True. So, but everyone in your family was a Dr. Pepper, or
we're a Dr. Pepper family.
No, my dad drinks Coke and like nothing but Coke.
Yeah, Coke and Diet Coke too.
Complaining about how much you hate your wife or husband shouldn't be seen as normal. In workplace settings or even at a night out with the buddies, it seems like this is a very common conversation to have. People talk about their marriages as if there's a demon haunting their house instead of a loving spouse waiting for them at home. If all you talk about is how much of a bitch your spouse is, why even choose to be married to them? It feels like this is seriously unhealthy and can be damaging to both people.
It's a form of camaraderie between guys and girls to bitch about your significant other.
What?
It's been going on for thousands of years, and it will continue to go on. It's just a way to get your anger out and to get your frustrations out.
I agree with the venting, and I think that's fair if it's like, oh God, the person that I love did this thing and it was really annoying. But like, I kind of get what they were saying about like, God, my wife is horrible. Right. I can't wait for her to leave next week. I'll be alone.
Right. But I guarantee that those guys are not. If they are, then they're actual dicks.
Okay.
But they're not like that to their wives. When they get home, they're gonna say, "Hey, baby, how's it going?"
That's well. At least I would hope so.
You're right. If they don't, then they're legitimate assholes. But if not, then it's a camaraderie thing. When girls complain about how gross their guys are, and when guys complain about how annoying their girlfriends are, it's what guys do. Now, I think it's super weird when guys, like, when especially married guys discuss, like, sexual exploits with their wives. Okay. I think that's weird. I think that's crossing the line. But if, like, oh, my wife was just nagging at me. I got the kids up, but she said that I made their lunches wrong, and she hasn't talked to me all day. Like, what? I don't know what to do. And then they go home, and it's like, hey, baby, I'll cook dinner. Don't worry about it. It's that's how relationships go. You can't vent about how annoying your girlfriend or wife is to your girlfriend or your wife. That's because then you're getting into an argument, and I think it's a really great way to avoid an argument if you just take it to your buddies or your dad or your brother. I think that's an easy way to avoid it.
That's fair. Last one. If you knowingly travel to a dangerous or unstable country and are harmed or killed, it's your own fault. You see a lot of stuff on the news about someone goes in a country like Afghanistan to do mission trips or hiking and is killed, and everyone acts shocked or saddened by what really happened. Personally, I don't have much sympathy for you. You took the risk of going to a sketchy country and it didn't work out. Blah, 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 blah. If I go into the jungle and try and tame a tiger and don't make it, no one should be shocked because everyone knows the risk you're taking.
I guess.
I agree.
But at the same time, you have people like, fine. Let's say I went to So I guess that then we're going into what defines a bad or an unstable country, right? So if somebody came to the U.S. visiting family in Detroit or Chicago and they got shot, is it their fault? No.
Okay,
it's a bad area, but
sure. But I feel like for the most part, that city is relatively better than like out in some desert with the.
Okay, so
I think it requires infrastructure. I think having
if White Blake went strolling through Syria, that's Blake's own damn fault.
Sure.
But if Tanya from Sweden comes to Detroit and gets mugged, it's not her fault because there's infrastructure.
Because you didn't let me finish my list. Infrastructure. No, it's okay. Infrastructure. I think having some kind of state recognized or federally or some kind of law enforcement. Having that access and availability, because I think if you go to Syria, law enforcement may or may not be as kind.
Not real reliable.
or even that.
Syria.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe kind of the expect.
Are you saying some places are better to go than others, Yuval?
I mean, yes, that is very true. There are. I mean, hell, you look in Texas and you like North Dallas or I guess South Dallas is really where all the crime happens. So like I don't know. I'm not gonna go to. I think if I'm like Blake, let's go to Chick-fil-A in South Dallas. There's a really great place. Let's look. I mean, that's if something bad happens to us, I think that's our own fault. Gun. I think. Well, you see, and that's preparation, and that's being taking the step. Oh, you can't take a gun to Syria. Exactly. So
I will say this: so that one Christian missionary that got killed on that island off the coast of India that had that inhabited tribe. Have you heard about that story?
I think so. That was his fault.
That was a dumb move.
That is definitely his fault.
Jesus will understand.
Yes.
Just leave that island alone.
It is okay. There's a reason why we don't talk to them.
No one, the Indian government says, hey, don't go over there, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, that was your fault, and that's why you have,
So then I guess if there's not the same level of civilization then? So like a Sweden to America, it's kind of like the same balancing act, whereas like New York to some kind of shady place in Africa or something. That's kind of there's a civilization sort of.
This is gonna sound controversial, but some cultures are better than others, and that's why I know it's insane to think cultural relativism. I know. It's insane. But it'd be like if I went back 100 years and I got killed by a bear because I didn't have my musket. It's like That's how I think about cultural relativism. Like, take culture out of it. Let's make it time. Okay. So if a culture is like 100 years behind where it was now, like the same culture, but it was 100 years behind, you would think that the 100 years ahead culture is better, right?
Right.
Because it evolved. I think that's more advanced.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with cultures now. Some cultures are just behind.
Okay, that's fair. So a mix of that, as well as the overall kind of the mood, I guess, of the society. I don't know. Can society have a mood?
Like,
because but
you visited Israel, right?
Oh, of course, but I think there are some, because there are countries that are publicly stating we don't welcome these type of people. Because I'm pretty sure you can probably look at some
go to half the Middle Eastern countries.
I'm sure, yeah, because the government has either said we hate Americans and Americans are a blight on the history that we live in, and so I think when there's a big sign saying no, stop, then you go. That's your fault.
That's your fault. That's you not keeping up with the times, or you're not being honest with yourself or the situation that's going on. That's
true.
You.
Like, can you handle it?
It's fine. No, there's no homophobia going on over there. Yes,
let me show up super flamboyant and have a gay pride parade
and a pinwheel hat. Let's go.
Well, thank you for admitting it, Blake. Right. Here on the One More Podcast
publicly stating. I'm sorry, Brittany.
But yeah, no, that's fair. I think then look, I guess close the final word is, if you're not welcome there, then you die there. It's your fault.
Yeah, don't hit the red button. Don't go where you're not supposed to go.
Yeah, be smart.
Right. Just think.
Don't be a retard.
That sure. And just don't.
Eminem.
Yeah, that too.
Sorry, that was a quote. I'm pretty sure there.
Hold on.
Don't be smart, be a retard.
Rap God.
Is that Rap God? Okay.
Don't be retard. Think not. Why be a king?
Yeah, there. Why be a god? There it is. You see, I know that. I'm quoting. I'm not being offensive. Cool. But any closing remarks?
No.
Did you think those were very unpopular opinions, or because you seem to agree with a few of them?
I think some of them. Yeah.
Is Blake in the minority?
I guess so. I'm a minority now. All right.
Oh my gosh! Put that on your applications for everything.
I am 1/1000th Native American. So,
are you really?
No, I'm more than that.
Do you think people should be able to claim that?
I think it has to. I think it depends. So, like, if Elizabeth Warren is 1/1000th Native American, then no.
Okay.
But me, whose grandfather, or no, great grandma, my granddad's mom, who was full Choctaw. Okay. Even I don't think I should be able to claim that. And I never have.
So then just direct parents?
Yeah, I think if like my granddad was a full-on Choctaw or whatever tribe he belonged to, then yeah. My granddad is an authentic Native American. Yeah, I've got it in my blood. But for some reason, because I didn't have a amazing relationship with my great-grandma and she was full-on Native American, it's not fair for me to say,
but if you
I'm Native American.
But if you spent time, or I guess I don't.
1/16th Native American. That's not fair.
Okay, but like, what if you spent time with that person and the family?
Yeah,
and you,
if I
really absorbed,
became accustomed to the tribal traditions and all that stuff, then yeah.
So what about the people that I'll try and phrase this very delicately. What about the white people wearing headdresses and stuff? Is that cool?
I don't care.
Oh, you don't care?
No, and like if I were to dress up as a chief for Halloween, I don't think anybody.
Well, I mean, for Halloween, I don't think that's. But like,
just white people.
Like you go over to Joe Blow's house and he's like, how? But he's like super like white.
What percentage? Like
what if I'm me? Look at me and I go.
We all know,
how?
Okay, so we all know recessive genes, though. You may have just caught a recessive gene in a line of.
Potentially, it's the white man's fault then.
I guess.
I honestly, I think I think I have some as well, ancestry. I don't know. I'm sure.
I think a lot of us have a lot of different things, which is why it really doesn't matter.
That's true. Don't judge people. Yeah.
Here on the One More podcast, we don't judge people.
Blake is gay, and don't judge people. That is the what you should take from this episode.
Yes.
Any closing remarks? So are these unpopular opinions, you think?
Some of them aren't.
Okay.
You know, like I know plenty of people that don't like their dogs licking their face.
That's true.
That's not weird. That's not. I don't think that's unpopular. I think it's unpopular if you let your dog just get its fill all over your face. I think that's unpopular.
You just like get a whole scoop with your hand of peanut butter and just put it in your mouth and. You're just spitting at this point.
Gross.
But yeah,
that's unpopular, and it should be.
Well, that is one more podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hope you guys have a fantastic day, night, or whenever you're listening to this. Peace.